Centrallo helps people be better centralized, productive, and in control through better storing, organizing, retrieving, and sharing information. And presenting this morning for Centrallo is Michael Scher.
That's fine. Okay, great. Hi, thank you. My name is Michael Scher. I'm a co-founder of Centrallo. We're based in New York City, but we do a lot of business out on the island, and we're considering an expansion out here. Billion-dollar consumer companies generally reinvent existing behavior with a superior consumer experience, and that's what Centrallo is attempting to do. The reason why we exist, and there's a good story behind it too, we'll tell you about in just a second. We want to help people be better organized and provide a superior cloud-based service to help people centralize information, organize their life, prioritize their life. So, a couple facts. Just wanted to throw this out there to maybe soften up the crowd. Did you know that cloudy days make people more productive? And people are more productive when they exercise in the morning. Tuesday, believe it or not, is the most productive day of the week. You need to get sleep to be more productive. A slight buzz, believe it or not, with an alcohol level of 0.075 can boost your creative thinking. Everybody agree with that? After working 40 hours, now it's getting a little more serious. After working 40 hours a week, your productivity decreases by 50%. And what's really most important here, the majority of the people in this room check their phones 150 times a day, okay? And this is, here in life, a problem that Centrallo is solving. We're all interrupted, okay? I don't have to give the examples, the multiple apps, the emails, the text messages, blah, 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 blah. And our productivity, individually and collectively, professionally, personally, is being challenged. So identifying what's most important is really challenging. Picking out those pieces of information is important, but once you identify it, where does it go? Where do you put it? How do you deal with it? How do you organize it? How do you share it, if you even want to share it? So how do most people in this room deal with this problem today? There's probably one of four buckets that you're in. People say, I just forward everything in my inbox. I put things in my inbox. I send myself emails, and I just deal with it. I just deal with it later. Or I put things in my calendar and move things from day to day. And the things I don't finish today, I move to the tomorrow and the next day and blah, 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 blah. People use IS notes and reminders, and they keep their lists in there and notes. Or they use a productivity tool that's in the market today, an Evernote, a to-do list app. There's lots of them. In terms of the story, quickly, the reason why I started the business, I've been thinking about it for 10 years, but I've been in the business world for 20-something years. And, I have a lot of information scattered around my desk, sticky notes, phone pads, notepads, Excel spreadsheets, etc. And I needed important information to be centralized. And it was really frustrating. And I tried all the leading productivity tools that are out in the market today, yesterday, and a few years ago. And none really worked to solve my problem, at least the workflow that I have. And also, my wife and I built a house on Long Island out in the Hamptons, Shinnecock Hills, and when we were doing it, it was a teardown, a modest, small little rancher, but we tore it down, and I had 51 Dropbox folders and files, which was great. It was great for organizing all the things we needed to do, appliances, countertops, AV, etc. But what it didn't do well was centralize and share lists with contractors. So the whole process was really, really inefficient in terms of sharing information, lots of phone calls, back and forth, voice messages left, etc. So here's the solution. Centrallo lets people, we want you to gather any kind of important information out of those interruptions throughout the day in a central location. Okay, so people forward things into an inbox, they add information, it sits there, okay? And then once you have time, it could be on a Saturday morning, it could be after work, when you have a window in the cab, whatever, you can organize the information into lists. And then, of course, share, search, prioritize, etc. So why now? Everybody in this room makes lists, takes notes. The last 10 years, there's been an evolution from paper to electronic lists, and there are dozens of apps out there for taking notes, making lists. A lot of you probably use them, and these companies have raised hundreds of millions of dollars. So the evolution of these list and note-making applications are going to provide more structure and more meaning. In terms of the competitive landscape, Google Keep, you doing okay with time? Okay, great. Google Keep, Evernote, Apple Notes, Microsoft OneNote. Big name, big brands. They all have a singular hierarchy. 3 minutes? Okay, great. They all have a singular hierarchical structure. One of our key advantages here, we have a hierarchical organizational structure, which now lets people put lists inside of lists, inside of lists, inside of lists, as opposed to just making lots of notes and lots of long notes. It's pretty inefficient, a lot of these existing tools, although probably a lot of you use them today. We're just trying to make those tools smarter and better. You can share content, you can publish content, and it's secure, encrypted, password protected. We've had some really good feedback. We're publicly available, cross-platform, iPhone, iPad, Android, Apple Watch, and web. We will be building desktop applications, but we've gotten some really good feedback. The market size is really big. We have, there's already 1 billion people plus use cloud-based productivity tools. And our model, similar to the prior speakers, it's a freemium model. So use it for free. There's certain limitations put on it. Once you reach a certain limitation, you pay us $5 a month. But the goal is to have 50 million registered users within a 3 to 5 year period, assuming only 4 of those are going to pay. And this is standard conversion rates for these types of applications. And we have a potential $100 million a year of revenue. The team, we have a lot of experienced people. There are probably some people in terms of advisors and investors you may know. Sig Zeises in particular, maybe. He does a lot of investing on Long Island and Manhattan. But, Rob Moffitt and I are both co-founders. We used to be competitors in a prior life at telecommunication software companies. We have really smart people building this out, and again, some great advisors and investors. What we've done to date, we've raised $800,000. We spent $0 on marketing, but we've tested it to really, we're narrowing down who the target profile is. We understand who they are, and now we're going to be targeting and creating a lot of materials to specifically market to these people. Evernote, who's raised $300 million and has $1 billion, they're a unicorn right now. That's one of our biggest competitors. We've just retained someone who's helping us, who helped them go from 5,000 to 100 million registered users, and we filed the utility patent application. What we need now, we're looking for $2 million in seed or bridge round. We have some key hires that we're interviewing for right now. We're going to easily translate the application into multiple languages. So that's really easy to do, adding the encryption, implementing viral flows. We have an Evernote wizard that we're going to be adding and marketing. And we're also going to be creating a B2B offering based on what we have today. So we will be going after the SMBs where Rob and I have a lot of experience selling to corporate, government, enterprise. So we're really experienced there. There are a lot of reasons why we'll succeed. We can certainly talk about this after the presentation. The timing's really good. We're all distracted. There's so many apps. There's so many challenges and competition for your time. We want people to be better organized. And a lot of people are already depending on these productivity tools. We've had some great press. There's lots of different articles and bloggers that have written about us from very prestigious magazines and other periodicals. Quip, recently, they're a productivity tool. They're not a direct competitor, but there's a lot of money that's been invested into this space and a number of acquisitions, and some of the bigger productivity tools, cloud-based productivity tools like Dropbox, et cetera, are looking to go public. I would just say, I'll leave you with the last thing. Microsoft just bought a German company called Wunderlist. You may use it, or you may know it. It's a to-do list application. They're probably the easiest comp. They're not a direct competitor because they're more about to-do lists as opposed to organizing everything. But they started about 5 years ago, similar model. They raised 24 million, including 19 million from Sequoia in a Series B, and they sold to Microsoft a few months back, anywhere between 150 and $200 million. So I'll leave with, lots of companies, large companies that should be and will be built, including Centrallo, that focus on innovative and superior customer experiences. So Thank you for your time. If you'd like to speak to us after, Elisa Ott, who's our head of marketing, and I will be outside.